Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We'll continue here in Hachstek's learning of the Pele Yoetz. Today is day number 85, and we are in the chapter of Brachos. And the Pele Yoetz began yesterday with some good old-fashioned musaf for us to be mechazik ourselves in kavanas habrachos and thinking about the words, understanding the words, and being focused and paying attention and making sure that we don't lose the bracha. And today he continues on the pathway of inspiring us to be better in our davening and our brachos. V'yesh rabim me'amei aretz. There are many amei aretz, ignorant people. Shesayrim shemevarchim. They think that they made a bracha, aval b'yachasim psula, but their bracha really is pasul. It's invalid. Machma shemedalgim kamatevas v'ois, because they skipped many words and letters when they're saying it. They're not so savvy in the Hebrew language. They're not really paying attention to what they're saying. They get nervous sometimes, especially if they make a brach in public and they just swallow up the words, or they say things quickly, or they're sitting by themselves and they rattle it off without saying all the words. They're doing two terrible things over here. Number one, bracha. They're enjoying this world without making a bracha. And they're saying HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name levatala. They're saying his name in vain. What's the reason? Because they're in a rush. Asher hi ra chayla, which is a terrible malady that is affecting the Jewish people. How could a person standing in, you're talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the King of the world, you say such a hurried bracha so quickly? That's how you say a bracha? No, a person doesn't talk to the king. You don't talk to the king like that. You don't talk to the king. You're talking to Rabbi Shalom. You're listening to every word that you say. He's releasing koiches of kedusha in every bracha that you make, and every word of tefillah, every ask, every power of prayer that you have. Ein ze mevarach. That's not a mevarach. That's someone who's making a blessing. Elamanites, he's really blaspheming the Rabbi Shalom when you're going that quickly. Fortunate is the one who fears HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He should accept upon himself with all of his might. Make every effort possible. With strength. Make all of your brachas out loud. Ois ba'ois, letter by letter, teva b'teva, word for word. Birusa, bechevasa, deliba, with dedication and joy that is in your heart. V'zeh kol ha'adam, that's what man is all about. That's what our life is all about. She'ishtada b'chol toikev, make every effort possible. L'kayim kol davar toiv kashayos, you should fulfill every good thing the way that it was meant to be fulfilled. V'zeh ha'ois, imu ishtav, this is a sign if you're a good person or not. If you're really toiv, you're really good with the Rebbeinu Shalom, you're good with your Avodas Hashem, so then you're going to make brachas and daven in the right way. Every word, every letter, word for word, slowly, out loud, that everybody can hear, that you can even hear yourself. Make that bracha to make sure that you are saying the proper words. Now what about this concept that we have, that you could hear the bracha from somebody else, and they could be mitzi you, which means they could have you in mind and allow you to fulfill your obligation that way. Kagoyim kiddush, you stand by someone's table Friday night and you hear somebody making kiddush, their bracha is covering you. Havdalah, the same thing. Birchas me'in shalosh birchas ahalel. So too, there's a bracha on the when you eat the grains or the fruits of Eretz Yisrael, or wine or grape juice. Maybe sometimes you go to a kiddush in the shul, and maybe only the rabbi makes the bracha afterwards, and he has everybody in mind. But Hallel, by the Sfardim, I think that only the Baal Tefillah makes the bracha on Hallel. Everybody else listens, and they fulfill the bracha with him. So Zehirus Yesera, you need extra attention. Shetiena aznav kashulas, your ears better be really focused in, honed in, ela bracha, to the bracha. Don't miss even one word that is being said. I don't have to tell you, says the Pele Yoetz, you shouldn't be talking in the middle of somebody making a bracha, that he's having you in mind and you're fulfilling your obligation through him. Then you don't fulfill your obligation at all. And that means then if you spoke while the balabais is making kiddush, you didn't fulfill the kiddush, nor the Havdalah if you spoke during Havdalah. And that means that what? That you ended up being nena, you ended up getting benefit from this world without a bracha, without a blessing that was attached to it. This is a big inyan in people's homes. Kids, Baruch Hashem, like to play around during Kiddush very often, and they chepper with each other, they bother each other, and they push each other, and they pinch each other, and they make noise with each other. We have to, at a certain point, train the kids that Kiddush is being said. You have to pay attention, you have to listen, otherwise you did not fulfill the obligation. So too when it comes to what's called Chazaras Hashatz. You go to a minyan, Shachis and Mincha, you daven silent Shemona Esrei, and then the Baal Tefillah, the one who's leading the davening, he repeats the Shemona Esrei. You have to stand there as a guardian. Listen to every blessing and hear it properly. And answer Amen to the bracha. And illness has spread in this area as well, unfortunately. And this is what he writes. Now this is going back many years, 100 and something years. Let's think about our place, our shuls. Many ignorant people, they speak in the middle of Chazaras Hashatz. While the Baal Tefillah is repeating the Shemona Esrei, people are speaking to each other. The Kamaroi says they're doing many terrible things. Aleph, number one, Shemedarvim Beis HaKnesset, talking in a shul. It is a tremendous prohibition to talk extraneously in a shul. Beis, number two, Shemedarvim B'Chazar Zamida, they're talking in the middle of the repetition of the Shemona Esrei. Shekazim Maram B'Shulchan Aruch, the author of the Shulchan Aruch, the Beis Yosef, writes, they have a terrible sin in their hands. The Gorim boys scream at them and tell them to stop. But many people have sweep this mitzvah under the rug, and they think it's permissible to speak. Nobody will protest against them. Rahman al-Islam. Number three, they miss many good things. Why? Because if you listen to the bracha that is being said, just hearing the bracha is like the saying of the bracha and the answering the bracha itself. And therefore, if you are now not paying attention and you're not listening to what is being said, you miss all the brachas that are there. You could get another 19 brachas by listening to Shemona Esrei. If you're busy talking and you're not paying attention, you miss the brachas. Our sages teach us the reward of a bracha is 10 golden coins. How much is a person willing to work for 10 golden coins today? The price of gold is out the roof right now. What you would do to get 10 golden coins right now? How much effort would you put in? And these foolish people who talk in the middle of shul, in the middle of Shemona Esrei, the repetition, in all the brachas that are going on, they're throwing away thousands of golden coins every week as a result of talking during davening. They don't even pay attention. Just subdue the Yetzirah a little bit. Keep your mouth closed. I heard about a certain shul. They have sections in that shul. Depends what you want to talk about. Sports, over here. Politics, over here. Movies, over here. Stam batala, just stam shpuzing, over here. Whatever you want to talk about, you can find a place to go talk about. Just congregate amongst. What a terrible thing. Why? Because that means you're going to be losing out on thousands of opportunities to answer Amen to the bracha, to listen, to get extra schar, extra reward. This is a major concept in the Torah. You always have to think to yourself, the reward of the mitzvah in relationship to the loss that you're going to receive as a result of an Avera. You want to talk? Okay, shmuz, gewaldig. You're missing out on such great mitzvahs. And strengthen yourself to subdue your Yetzirah, control it. Hashem's going to help you. If Hashem sees that you want to stop talking in shul, Hashem sees it's hard for you to pay attention. You're Mr. ADD, ADHD. You have no zits. You can't sit still, and so you have to talk. You think you have to talk. So you talk to this guy, and you talk to that guy, and you make signs with this and all these different things. Or you're the uninspired Jew. You come to shul, you don't know what you're saying. You don't know what the words mean. You never connected tefillah. You're 25, 30, 50 years old. Never connected tefillah. So what do? You just talk. No. If you want to really get closer to tefillah, you want to get closer to brachas, you want to be able to stay more focused, Hashem sees that, He's going to help you. Why wouldn't He help you? He wants you to do that. And David talks about, help me Hashem, I'm trying so hard. I just got used to talking all the time. I used to go to a shul. I was in the sports section on Mondays. I was in the politics section on Tuesdays. On Shabbos, I went to Netflix section. And on Yom Tov, I was by the Stam Batala. Help me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I want to be able to daven better. He said, I'll give you a piece of advice. Men of great deeds. What is their minhag? What is their custom? They keep the siddur in their hands. B'shas hachazar, at the time that the shaliach sibur is going through is doing chazaras hashatz, is saying over the Shemona Esrei once again. So they keep the siddur in their hands, or just like when they're in their silent Shemona Esrei, they have a siddur there in their hands, on the table, on their shtender. So too, when the chazan is doing the chazaras hashatz, he's going through the Shemona Esrei again, they keep it in their hands. In that way, they're able to listen and pay attention to tefillah. They bring down from Rav Chaim Kanievsky's Zatzal, mine was completely in Torah. 24 hours a day, you would think he's done. When he came to daven, he said, there's a time to learn, and there's a time to daven. And when you come to daven, it's all davening. And they say, and somebody, Chashav Rav, who used to stand next to him when he would daven, that Rav Chaim's finger was always on the place in the siddur. When there was chazaras hashatz, when they were going through the repetition of the Shemona Esrei, Rav Chaim would stand there like a servant of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, finger on the place, going through word by word by word to make sure he's listening and answering Amen. This is Anshe Maisa. These are the men of great deeds. We could all be Anshe Maisa in these areas of our life if we will just be Mizaris, we will be Mechazik ourselves, and we will do what is right in the eyes of Hashem. All the best.